Did you know that on the Great Lakes we have something called a seiche? Now this is kind of like a rapid rise and fall in the water levels. I made this graphic a little extreme, but it kind of gets the point across. Now everyone knows in the Saginaw Bay, when we get a wind funneling up the bay, the normal lake level definitely rises as the water is pushed into the shoreline, like what you see here. However, it can happen on a much faster time frame, of course, when we start to get severe weather into parts of the area. Those strong winds with the thunderstorm rapidly push the water to one side of the Great Lakes, and then it sloshes around like a bathtub because when the storm's over, there's nothing to hold the water on the other side of the lake, so it comes back, and it goes back and forth like when you make the water, of course, slosh around in your bathtub at home. Now, they have been recorded on the Great Lakes numerous times over the years, and if you want to look on YouTube, there's some really cool videos, but some of them have been actually about 6 to 10 feet in the most extreme cases, but typically when these happen they can be about 1 to 2 feet or less, just causing a little bit of coastal erosion.
Well, our Great Lakes are certainly fun, but just under the waves a very real danger is lurking. Here's Christina Burkhart to explain.
Did you know that prior to 1998, people didn't think that rip currents occurred on the Great Lakes? But they do, as do other currents, so we want to make sure that you stay safe this summer. 84% of current-related incidents occurred in waves of only 3 to 6 feet. Last year, there were 98 drownings in the Great Lakes, 108 the year before. Each summer averages 12 fatalities and 25 rescues just due to currents alone. Now, we all love the Great Lakes, but even our waves are special. They come in closer than ocean waves at about every 3 to 5 seconds. That shorter time between the waves makes it harder to get up after you get knocked down. And did you know that waves of 3 feet or more make currents more likely to occur? Let's talk about the different kinds of currents. So strong structural currents move parallel to piers. Over half of current-related incidents occur near piers, and it's never a good idea to swim near them. Now, longshore currents move parallel to the beach. They can make it hard to keep your feet on the ground and can push you into a pier or break wall. Escape these by swimming towards the beach. Outlet currents form at a water outlet like a stream or a river mouth. Escape this one by swimming parallel to shore. Channel currents flow over a sandbar connecting the beach to an island or rock. So while you're walking out, that current can knock you off of your feet into the deeper water. Now, to escape a rip current, you'll want to swim parallel to the shoreline. Let's talk a little bit more about how these form. So you have your incoming waves, and they create a sandbar, just a bar of sand here. Those waves continue to push water up in between the bar and the shore. Now, part of that sandbar section is going to collapse, and that water will take that path of least resistance rushing out through that narrow gap. Once it's past that gap, it's able to spread out, and it starts to slow down. Here's another way to look at it. So you're at the beach and you're swimming. Here's your waves coming in. Here's your sandbar. Now part of that sandbar section collapses. We get a rip current to form, and it easily takes you out away from the beach. So remember, if you can't escape, try to float, maybe on your back. Try to tread water. If you're able to, call for help, and don't fight the current. It's like one of those endless pools. You're just going to stay in place and really tire yourself out. Try to swim parallel to the shore to escape a rip current. Rip currents have a horizontal motion. A lot of times people may think it's a vertical motion, but it's not. The reason you might think that is because the strongest water is moving about a foot off of the bottom, and so it can easily sweep you off your feet, and it feels like it's pulling you down, and that's why it appears like it's a vertical motion, but again, it's a horizontal one. Also, rip currents are not rip tides. A rip tide is when we have that water pulling out of an inlet. Now, we showed you this earlier. Can you identify the rip currents? There's 2 of them, one here and one here. Reason that we can see them is because we could see all that sandy water moving away from the beach. We also could see a break in the waves. Now, if you're headed out to the beach, just remember the traffic light system. A red flag means that strong currents could be occurring. A yellow flag means to use caution. And, of course, the green flag means that you are good to go. So now you're all set to have a fun and safe day at the beach this summer.
Thanks, Christina. La Nina, El Nino. Typically, we discuss these with regard to their effects on our winter season. But right now in the Pacific, there's an ongoing La Nina event coming up. Brad is going to have a look at its potential effects on our spring and summer. Also, Meteorologist Kevin Goff will tell you what you need to know to stay safe when it comes to the #1 weather-related killer. And did you know Michigan's largest tornado outbreak occurred on May 21st of 2001? 19 confirmed tornadoes in that one day.